Welcome to me. I'm just kidding. Welcome to the retreat. Okay, so first things first. Who is Rose?
Rose, that's a really hard question all of a sudden.
Really?
It all of a
I've
sudden
been there
is-
before, so I kind of get it.
Well, okay, so Rose is basically a free-spirited, doesn't mind to say whatever is on her mind, fun person, and mental health advocate out there in the world just trying to draw change, humanity. Yeah, I feel that's Rose. There's nothing much to her. The rest you get to know as you peel the egg.
I kind of like the egg idea.
Yeah, like
So,
you know how
peel
an
egg.
egg has like all these three layers. You have the shell,
Yeah, and
you
then
get
that
the
little
white,
membrane thingy.
yeah, then you get to the membrane, and then you
Right,
get
right.
to like the white, and then you get to the yolk.
I'd have thought of onion, really. Just
Yeah, 1,000 layers. This sounds like Shrek.
okay. So, mental health activist.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, so mental health is like a very touchy topic for me because it comes from personal experience.
Right.
And then due to the fact that I felt not so many people were aware about how far mental health can break somebody down and whatever happens within that process, I felt why not speak about it, why not advocate about it and drive some change in the world.
That's a very noble undertaking. And I can only imagine how difficult it is. I mean, especially when you were starting, which, when was that again?
2019.
Right. Okay, so just 2 years ago. But with how slow the growth is in terms of like accepting certain things, I can only imagine how difficult it was then, to advocate for mental health and like, tell people that this problem is an actual problem.
And definitely because
It's
like,
not just
that was like within the start of COVID-19 and all that drama.
Right.
And then my first video was like me at my lowest and trying to encourage myself. And
Wow.
for some odd reason, everyone else found it encouraging. So, yeah, I guess
okay.
that's how it began. And then after my first video, people came in and said, "Oh my God, when are you making your next video and whatnot?" And then some people were a bit confused about my content, and I was like, no, actually, I talk about mental health. Oh, mental health. What is mental health, Then there's that buzz because people were thinking mental health is limited to not being normal
Right.
and an insanity situation,
Yeah.
disorders and all that. But getting to talk more about it, talking about mental health and its relation to our everyday life,
Right.
people then started talking more about it. And surprisingly, it's like it was the first flame that was needed to that fire.
So, first of all,
I see
please-
food.
Yeah,
I see food.
This is why we're here.
To eat
and talk.
Let's not make mukbangs. Ish. Some of us might be loud chewers.
So why we're here is to discuss mental health and how it's affected by social media.
Yeah.
I know that there's a number of people who don't understand exactly what link is there
Yeah.
between social media, the structure of society, and mental health.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is the correlation between social media and mental health?
All right. Sad this question came after my chewing. Oh my God. But yes. So, mental health and social media.
Right.
We're in a time when we're in the COVID-19 pandemic, and it's just like everybody is confined to the social media space.
Right.
Everybody is out there on their phones, trying to see what's up, trying to do their business, going about their day-to-day lives. So we get to observe what others are doing.
Right.
And where there's observing what others are doing comes wanting to either do what others are doing or wanting to match up to the standard of what others are doing.
Right, right.
So there's all that drama going on. And because of that competition that people feel they're going through, as though they need to compete, match up to a certain standard, this has made people frustrated. They've started to take up the fake it till you make it, or fake it till they see that you're trying to make it kind of status. And this is frustrating, and people are losing themselves. And we have all these issues coming up. Oh no, I'm stressed because I feel I'm not doing the most in life. I'm not making it like Alexander is. Oh, he's always at Theory Street. You know? So definitely
I
somebody
see.
feels like, oh my God, I am nothing, when they are actually better than the person they're seeing on social media.
Right.
Like today, so many people are living for a 24-hour status. Like, you see your friends go to the couple, you see your friends go to where, and you feel, oh my God, my life is not there. I'm not, I
Right.
don't have enough to go to such places. And then they talk themselves down. When in reality, they might be far much better than that person. And so they start trying to get stuff they cannot have, hence all these vices. Some might get into sex for money, just because they want to end up somewhere. And then they lose their personal identity. And due to that, they get frustrated, and then we have more people in our therapy rooms. I've talked too much, let me take a bite.
I like the idea of competition.
Yeah.
And personally, I think a lot of people don't realize that they're actually in a competition. Because we see people do certain things that we admire,
Yeah.
and we feel like if we don't do those things, we're either losing out or we're
Yeah,
lacking.
like we're not there, we're not
Yes,
good
yes,
enough,
yes.
we're not the...
So what do you think would prevent someone from feeling the need to compete? How does somebody see someone else living
Yeah.
this perfect life and still go, well, that's good for them, but this is me? Like, what does somebody need to have in order
Yeah.
to be in that space?
Mostly my biggest advice is self-content. Like, be content with what you have and who you are. And this only comes about also if you know yourself. Getting to know yourself is not just knowing that, hey, my name is this, I come from this, I do this. That's the reason why when you ask me who was I, it was a deeper question for me. I'm like, should I get down to my values, or should I
believe
start to
in change.
like there was all this drama going on.
Right.
And so when somebody knows how to define them away from their names, away from where they're from, away
Right.
from who they know, they start to see themselves from the in-depth view. From there, you start to support others. You look at them and say, oh my God, congratulations, you're doing this. Wow. You know what? One day I want to be like you. And so they actually start working toward what they feel they want to be like. Not because, oh, this person looks like they're enjoying life. I want to be enjoying life like they are. You see? So getting to know yourself and being content with what you currently have makes it easier to not fall in the snare of a 24-hour status.
When you say getting to know yourself, it sort of makes me think of the idea of knowing yourself, so that you understand your own definition of certain things,
Yeah.
like success, for example. It's not a universally agreed upon or universally sort of applicable idea. What one person would deem as success, to another person is not.
Yep.
Because we have different needs, different desires, and different
Exactly.
things that we like. So I feel if one knows themselves, then it's easier to say that person has got 5 houses or whatever, but that's not what I'm looking for. I want to build,
Yeah.
an NGO for
Yeah.
for people that are in this kind of space.
Exactly.
So then you're fighting for your own success based on your definition of the word, as opposed to based on what's been polished and put out there. So I think yeah, it really does depend on one's self awareness.
Yeah.
You know, but then how does one get to be self aware?
Okay. That's a very good question. How does one get to be self-aware? I like something that started my journey of knowing myself. I noticed how so many people in school, back in high school, would, we all have that music phase when we're getting exposed to music and our friends are listening to this type of music, and because they're listening to that type of music, you start listening to that music. I asked myself, does this music speak about what I'm all about? You
Right.
know? And that pushed me to try to understand what I actually like. I was like, okay, I love the slow, acoustic, depressive music. At times I might do the Afro pop, but that's not me. So I won't do what's not me, I got to know what I liked and what I wanted on my own. And it all starts from the little things. Is your food preference based on what others prefer?
Right.
Is your dressing because this is what's trending, so I'm not gonna wear what's trending? Or are you wearing what you're wearing because, damn, this is comfortable, this is me, this is my personality? So it's from the little things, then we start building to the big things. The second you find yourself in a setup of saying, okay, I want to dress a certain way, like most people ask me, why do you wear black? Is it because you're goth? No, no, no. I'm like, okay, yes, I did have my goth phases, but I realized I loved black because I felt me. So when you identify why you like something and why you're doing something,
Right.
and what really drives who you are, you start changing your friend circle, you start changing how you talk, you start changing your mentality according to who you are and not according to what somebody wants you to be.
Right.
So that's like how the whole self-knowing, journey begins and goes and digests itself. I'm digesting food, so
You know, I like the practicality of it starts with little things. I think a lot of people, when they think of or hear about self awareness, they're thinking of these ginormous ideas. Some people actually don't even know what to think of when they hear of self awareness. I know that there's a number of people who think they know themselves simply because they say, "This is my name, this is where I live," and that's basically
Yeah.
the extent of their self awareness.
yeah.
But I like the fact that you've broken it down to smaller practical things.